Montessori Grandma. Episode 6. The Story of the Great River.
The Story of the Great River. Another of Dr. Maria Montessori's stories, retold and presented by Geeta Vijaychandran. I made this PowerPoint presentation of the story of the Great River to help Montessori elementary teachers, traditional school educators, and children. I've used my story as a guide and added on more facts that are suitable for older children. Some consider this to be Montessori's sixth great lesson. The Great River. The Great River is an introduction to human anatomy. It is a geographical metaphor for the bloodstream or the circulatory system. The story of the Great River. This is a chart that is used when we say the Great River story. This chart is an essential part in telling the story as it adds to the imagination of the child. Let us listen to the story. I know of a wonderful nation, a strange and odd country. It is an unusual and strange country in many ways. It is extraordinary and different. You may have never seen such a country before, but it is very familiar. How can a country be strange and familiar at the same time? This is really very strange, really unbelievable. It's a strange country. It's a country that's watered by a great river that flows through this land. This great river reaches every place in the land. It makes its way to every single location. This land is watered completely by the great river that flows through it. Who lives in this strange country? The citizens who live in this land are very strange. How many citizens live here? Well, don't be shocked. The number is much more than the inhabitants who live in our entire world. There are about 6 billion of them living in this land through which the great river flows. Yes, 6 billion. Most of the inhabitants of this country are hidden from sight, but there is a great river which flows in secret and links all of them. Here, all the different groups are specialized according to their work. What do these inhabitants do? Can you guess? Well, these citizens work and work. All that they do is work. They never rest, never take a break, never take a holiday. They never complain. They are workaholics. They take all the nutrients they need from the great river. They put back all their waste into the great river. In fact, when they die, they have no funerals. They just slip into the river. The great river that waters all of this land is the center of everything that is there. It's a marvelous nation. It's an amazing thing. It's very unusual. It's very different. Do you know something else they do? All of them live in perfect harmony. They're friends with each other. Each one, though he works for himself, is actually working for the benefit of the whole. So each one does his best for himself, but at the same time, everyone gains from everyone else's work. It is strange because it looks like the inhabitants are filled with both selfishness and love. They're selfish because they want what they can get for themselves, but what they do is for the benefit of all. This country has a government. The country has a president. The president lives in a huge palace which is protected by a fort. The wall of the fort is so strong that enemies cannot easily enter. The citizens of this strange nation, through which the great river flows, wholeheartedly obeys the president. There are no protests, no managers are required to make the inhabitants do their work. They're completely obedient and they always work. They work for one another. Like any government, there are many different departments that serve the president in this land of the Great River. The most important department is the Department of Transportation, which is run by the Great River itself. The other departments are the Department of Nutrition, which deals with food, the Department of Air, the Department of Sensation. Next is the Department of Defense. And finally is the Department of Purification. The President gives orders to all the departments, and each department follows orders exactly as they are told. These departments are all separate, but are all connected to the President's palace. They can communicate very rapidly with the President's office. The Department of Sensations is a specialist in rapid communication. This is a chart of this very strange country that I am talking about. It doesn't show all 6 billion inhabitants, but they are there. Let's look at each department in detail. Here at the top of the hill is the President's Palace. The President's Palace has a fort around it. This protects the President and keeps him safe. It is from the President's office that all orders are issued, and everyone follows these orders. Here's the Department of Transportation. The Great River has its headquarters right here. This great pump moves the river around. It has 4 pumping stations, 4 chambers that move the river from place to place. This is the Department of Sensations. There are 5 gateways to its office building. They are all labeled. Let us read them. Eye, nose, hand, ear, and tongue. A strange building. But the Department of Sensations has immediate communication with the President's office. Here is the Department of Nutrition. The Department of Nutrition is a mill that is not like any other mill. It doesn't just grind grain. It grinds vegetables, fruits, and even meats. You can see people carrying food to and from it. When the food is ground up, they go into the Great River. Then they are carried to all the other departments so anyone can benefit from the food. Here is the Department of Air. This is a building that has a flexible top that can expand and contract. Here's a man with bellows pumping air into it. At the same time, some gases are being pumped out. The Department of Air is also connected directly to the Great River so that it can bring in special gases and put them directly into the Great River itself. Then we have the next department, the Department of Defense. The Department of Defense is in charge of defending the entire nation of the Great River. It is filled with doctors, all in white, who will fly to wherever they are needed. They will defend the Great River by helping save and cure anyone who is ill. Finally, we have the Department of Purification. It separates the waste from the products that must be recycled. Both liquids and solids are dumped for purification. By dumping and recycling, the river is always kept pure, even though the inhabitants put their waste into it. The Department of Purification is always busy cleaning the river so that it stays pure. You may wonder, where is this country? Why haven't I heard of this country? Where could it be located with its 6 billion inhabitants? If there is such a place, then where is it? Well, it's right in this room. It's actually with us at all times. This great land never leaves you. It is with you wherever you go. It is the human body, your body. The human body is the land of the great river. And the great river is a river of blood that flows through us at all times. Be silent for a moment and see if you can hear or feel it pulsing through your body. The great river is inside you, pulsing always. Your heart is a pumping station with its 4 chambers that drive blood through your body and carry it to every citizen. Who are these inhabitants? Cells. Cells that work together in a wonderful way and fill your body. The cells in your body work all the time. You can see many types of cells that we have in our body. And who lives in the palace? Well, that's your brain. It's from your brain that the orders are issued to all the other parts of your body. You may not even be aware of the orders being issued, but they are continuously and constantly being issued to every department. The brain controls all the other departments. The Department of Sensations, with its 5 gateways, are your sense organs. Your sense of sight, smell, touch, hearing, and taste bring information to your body. They communicate continuously with the brain so that you can immediately see, smell, taste, hear, and feel all that comes from the 5 gateways of sensations. Our lungs make up the Department of Air. When you breathe in, lungs expand and bring air in, like the man with the bellows. When you breathe out, they contract, and some of the gases are expelled. The oxygen from the air goes into the great river, and then it can travel all through our bodies. Look at the Department of Defense. These are the white cells of our blood that rush up to help whenever there's an infection. These specialized cells are like doctors that go from place to place quickly. They race there and help cure anything that happens with our body. The Department of Purification includes our large intestine and kidneys. This is the area where waste is separated and then it's expelled from our body when we go to the toilet. The good things are retained and used by the body. Did you like this wonderful country? It's very strange, but it's also very familiar because it is within every one of us. Each cell wishes to exist and continue its own life. While it continues to build itself without knowing it, each one helps the whole body, the whole person to survive. We live in a country that is us. All of us has this great river inside of us. That takes us to the end of the story of the great river. But is this the end? You will learn more about these departments in detail and may even come across some departments you have never heard of. Always remember the great river and how it waters our entire nation. Our work should be to look after it with great care. Is this the end? Certainly not. When introducing a new topic to children, Montessori used many short stories. So, we will meet soon with a new story. Thank you for watching. This is Geeta Vijaychandran signing off.
Montessori Grandma.